Hey, today I'm talking about the new French film, Anatomy of a Fall. The basic premise is it's essentially a courtroom drama about a woman who may or may not have murdered her husband. And it's a really interesting, really well-made film. They did a really good job of not definitively telling us the answer. They really left it up for us to decide what happened. And even on their website, you can vote on whether or not you think she did it or not. And I was like, oh, I feel like they super painted it that it was this one thing, I won't say which, and I can't imagine anyone else thinking any other way. Everyone's just gonna think the same thing as me. And then I clicked on my answer, and turns out I'm actually in the minority. By a lot. So I think that really goes to show you just like how well crafted this movie is. That I felt so definitively one way, but a lot of other people felt a completely different way. Yeah, no, it was just a really interesting movie. It deals with like manipulation and relationship dynamics. It also does cover like how the news can sensationalize certain court case things. There's a border collie that's in this movie who's legitimately really good. Like there's a tracking shot with the border collie, and I'm like, wow, way to go, dog. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Even though I definitely would recommend this movie in general. If you want a good movie, this is a good movie. Though I do think it's a little long. If you are a border collie owner, I would maybe cautious you from watching this movie, because there's one very emotional scene that deals with the border collie, and I don't know how they filmed it, but they did, and it's whoo, that was a rough 5 minutes for me. I will add too, if you're not the most into having to deal with subtitles, the movie's half in English. The main character, she's German, so she speaks English, and she speaks English for most of the movie. If you're new to the foreign film world and want to get your feet just a little bit wet, check it out. I don't like have any really specific complaints, but it didn't quite get pushed into the really liked category for me, which is my top ranking. I think it's just because I didn't like super connect to it. It is definitely a very well-made film that's worth a watch, but I just didn't have like a deep personal connection to it. So it's quite like basically a 4 out of 5 for me. So yeah, it's a good film that's totally worth a watch. And now for my ranking, I put this at number 37 in the quite like section. And this is a total of 64 new movies so far this year.